and they said the person looked, that's not what the machine says. I was laughing so hard, but it's come to
But
fruition.
you know what? Uh, that happened to me, Dr. Fabulous, and that happened to me at a store. I was at Zaxby's, matter of fact. I gave them like a $20 bill, and they told me it was whatever the amount plus some change. But I gave them a
Hmm.
$20 bill, and then I realized I had the change. So I gave them. I said, you know what? Let me give you the change. I gave them the change. Do you know they didn't know what to do?
Just stuck like
The-
chalk. And
And
I
it's,
said to myself,
yeah,
oh my God, because they don't know basic math skills.
right. And I literally stood there. And I said, no. Well, I can't take it. They said, I can't take it. Yes, you can. You're going to sit there and count it. I said, your mother sent you to school to learn. So guess what you're going to do? You're going to learn here today. You're going to give me what I'm supposed to have when I gave you this money. And they caught an attitude with me, but they did count it. And I showed them how to count it. And, this is a teenager. So in order to work there, you have to be over 15 years old. So you have gone through school all this time. And when you was talking, Dr. Fabulous, I'm sitting here having church up in here because you are talking the truth. That a lot of these students do not know a lot of stuff because of the computer and the technology that's taking over their brains. They figure
Hmm.
that they can just put it in the computer and it works for them. But they don't realize one day that computer is not going to work. And what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are
Exactly.
you going to
I mean, think about it. They don't know where the ON OFF button is. Miss Summer,
Right.
you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, we're talking about society today with these young kids and stuff. Not to show my age, but I remember growing up and we had Reading Rainbow, we had Sesame Street, we had a lot of things that were really engaging and made us want to read and made us want to dive into a book and things of that nature. And now I mean, as soon as it seems like as soon as a baby is born, they know how to operate
a cell
a
phone?
tablet. You know what I mean? And a
Yeah.
tablet. And I'm like, my gosh. So right off the bat, and I see, and in the profession that I'm in now, social services, you see a lot of uh it's like the computers are raising the children. The moms are
Well, it's
you
the
know, the
pacifier. The phone, like the
yeah,
Yeah.
iPad, it replaces the pacifier. It replaces human
Yes.
engagement, and it replaces the need for the child to learn something. Now, they only
exactly.
with the with the one of the things, the difference, I can remember all those Schoolhouse Rock things on ABC.
Conjunction, remember conjunction junction?
Yeah, hook
What's
your
your
phone
funk?
function. Yeah, hooking up real
Yeah.
phones and yeah. Oh no, trust me, I remember that. It's the stuff stays with you, but as they went from educating through entertainment through to entertainment for entertainment's sake. Now, a lot of us, when we were coming up in the early 70s, you have to consider Sesame Street was less than 3 years old when I was old enough to understand what Sesame Street was. So it was a new concept, and a lot of things that we learned, and like I said, it was entertaining. But you learn stuff, and it stuck with you for your life. But now everybody has such a short attention span, and like Miss Summer was saying, with the babies coming out, learning how to, got a VR headset on and an iPad in their little tiny hands. It doesn't take it takes away. So
Hey, honey.
we relied so much on technology to raise our kids that our kids don't know how to act without that external stimuli, which is sometimes it's an iPad, sometimes it's a device. Go ahead, Miss Summer.
And the other thing I just wanted to touch on too, it just blew my mind. So I've been at my job for about 13 years. And I remember when I first went in for the interview, it's so weird now. So basically, y- y- you gotta, I guess you put your information in. It goes through this screening process to see what keywords match up to the job. You get your foot in the door, they talk to you, you get a second interview, and then that's it. I think I stood out and got the job because I was able to, one of the days before, I mean, after the second interview, I just went into the office and I just wanted to say hi. I wanted to shake people's hand. I wanted to say hello. A lot of just the basic conversations, the carrying on a conversation, uh, being able to speak to people. It is just becoming, this world is just becoming so different. And so I'm finding that I'm having to sit my children down. We're having to do mock interviews, just having them speak and being able to hold a conversation and be personable. And, everything is just, it just, it's a lot of this starts from home, but I'm finding it now. Everything is so expensive. Mom and dad are working. We're hardly home. We're relying on school to help raise our kids, but it's just a lot. The world is changing. It's a catch 22, and it's, I don't know, just basic things. And I'm just listening to the way the world is, and the way we're just steadily moving forward. But it's a lot of it's damage that has been that I've seen over the years, and I think we have to really hone into our kids and just kind of help them to make it through, because this world is it's a beast.
Hmm.
And so, I'm just looking at the election, I'm looking at the way life is going on, I'm looking at who the president is going to be. He's a mean guy, he's rough. And he doesn't really care about people's feelings and all the things that we're trying to teach our children about being nice, and sticks and stones and all of this stuff, the basic stuff. He's going against all of that. So what do you do with, it's this is rough. It's just rough.
It is. It is. Chocolate Pearl, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I did, but Aunt Pam wanted to speak. If she unmutes, she could take my turn.
Is she with you?
I thought it was her that emailed
No,
me.
yeah, she texted both of us. I put the link in the I put the link in the chat, but I'll do that on she's on YouTube. She's on YouTube Live. Just let her know she's on YouTube Live, and that's the mate. Well, if for y'all don't know, that's the matriarch of my immediate family. My aunt, my great aunt Pam. She and my mother were niece and aunt, but they were the same age. That's another whole nother in our family. That runs a lot. Um, the big thing is, you know, our
But
kids.
I did want to say something since she's not on there. I did want to say that um, to try to, I was almost like Dr. Fabulous, where she's trying to teach her children, her way of, when she grew up. When I have about 7 grandchildren, and each one of them, every year, I don't give them a regular toy. I try not to, but if I do, I always add something to it, and it's a learning toy. Aunt Pam does the same thing with her grandkids and her nieces and nephews and stuff like that. I always give them, I gave flashcards to my grandkids. I give them, especially the part trying to learn, flashcards or a toy that where you can learn your colors, your shapes. You remember back in the day that you had those toys where you put the different shapes inside the little box. You had to figure it out and you learn the different colors and stuff like that. A lot of these parents don't do that anymore. They consistently rely on computers and the technology. And then even though these kids wake up, like you said, they come out of the womb with a tablet in their hand, they still can't read. They still don't know math. But when you go back to the old school of learning, I'm telling you, this world will be a better place.
Well, that's not going to happen because those in power don't want us to be empowered by learning. They want us just between fifth and seventh grade is just enough for us because that makes us compliant workers and they can tell us stuff and we look at them as betters. The people who voted for the guy in office don't want to be governed. They want to be ruled, be told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and be able to punch it out. Have somebody else to blame for their own shortcomings and their lack of the lack of their ability to be above average. Um, you gotta We have to look at that and saying, I'm always each one teach one type of person. You always as elder states people, not gonna say we old, but we are, but um, we have to impart our wisdom to a reticent crowd because when we were in our early 20s and we we thought we knew it all. Even when we were teenagers, we were smart mouths. We talked reckless and we were smart mouths, not realizing that we didn't know anything. We really didn't know anything. We just thought we knew. And then as you got experience, but the thing was is that sometimes you just gotta tell the people what it is. And like you said, we all have a part in that, especially since we're going backwards educationally. We have to be the ones to pick up that mantle that was given to us by our parents and grandparents. And I don't know about anybody else, but my aunt used to make me read all the time. I loved reading though, but I was a little bit of a smart Weisenheimer. But I had to basically stand over my kids like an overseer to get them to read because they said it wasn't boring. Now I can't stop them from reading. They're reading everything. But an informed person is a dangerous person to the current government. Miss Dream, what's going on? How are you doing today? I guess I guess that.
Sorry,
Hey,
trying to figure out how to unmute.
oh, everybody seems to have that problem.
Yeah,
Um,
it's